In March of 2022, this same New York State Police investigator reported to the leadership of that task force that a potential suspect had been identified. This was the first time that Rex Heuermann's name had come up.
And we know what happened since. As investigators reveal more about what led them to the suspected Gilgo Beach killer, Rex Heuermann, I should say. Today, we're hearing from someone who knows him well. Our next guest lived next door to Heuermann for 28 years and even had a few creepy encounters with the alleged serial killer. Etienne Devilliers joins us now. Etienne, great to see you. We've seen that house, and it's bizarre. I want to get to that. But can you bring us to the one interaction that kind of set you off with him, that you had to kind of set the rules?
Well, that was pretty much in the beginning when we first moved here. We came from Astoria, and we're not used to having backyards. So my wife would sunbathe in the backyard occasionally, and my wife is a beautiful lady. Far too pretty for me, for the likes of me. But he would stand over the fence because he was a tall guy, 6'4". He would constantly say he was 6'4", 250 pounds. And he would try to start conversations with her. And I was a fireman in New York City, so a lot of times I wasn't home, most of the times when he did this. And then my wife finally told me a few times that she was getting creeped out a bit by him. And I had a conversation with him. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't a pleasant conversation. We spoke pretty harshly. But he didn't get aggressive or anything, and since after that, he never did it again. So
he tried to be your friend. He invited you to play cards a couple of times, right, Etienne?
Oh yeah. He tried to buddy up because he wanted some friends. Nobody in the neighborhood ever talked to the guy. The house was a mess, but he stayed to himself pretty much. So he asked me to play cards and try to buddy up a couple of times, but right. I kind of stayed away from him.
Pretty amazing, too, to find out that he had 2 wives. This was his second wife and 2 kids. Did you see the family around? Were they?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't know that. Excuse me?
You never saw the family?
No. I never saw the first wife.
Oh.
Not that I remember. I mean,
okay.
I might have, but I just don't remember seeing her.
But what is the family like? What was the wife like? Did they seem to have a good relationship? Did the kids fit in?
The wife was a bit on the odd side too. She kept to herself most of the time. And whenever I spoke to her, it was just 2 or 3 word things. With Rex, on the other hand, I had conversations with him, regularly. The kids, I really always felt sorry for the kids. The son is a special needs kid who just got his first dog a couple of weeks ago, and the kids it just brightened him up. He's a sweet kid, and they always used him to do the garden work and plowing the snow, and they kept the kid busy doing the manual labor around the house. The daughter is also a nice young girl that kept to herself, very quiet, very shy, and rarely I spoke to her. Just hello and goodbye. The son, I did have conversations with. He was a nice kid. I feel terrible for them.
So, Etienne, now your house, your block is a tourist attraction. People coming by, right? Non-stop?
It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. I had to sneak to do this. I had to sneak out the back door, and that's what I've been doing. And occasionally they'll grab me sneaking out the back door. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and a couple of the news networks grabbed me, and I said, "Listen, I got to go. I can't stay." And they said, 30 seconds, and I said, "Okay, 30 seconds, and I got to go. I can't stay." So it's been pretty hectic, really.
So they pulled over 200. Etienne, what's your reaction to this? They pulled over 200 guns out of the house. And yesterday, it's thought they pulled a grenade out of the house.
Get out of here, really? Wow. I know that a bunch of years ago, pretty much around when the killing started, I seen a group of people carrying a box that must have weighed a ton. And he told me it was a metal door for the garage. I mean, for the basement. That's what he told me. But apparently now the detective that came to my house, Joe Russo was his name, I believe. He said that it was a safe into the door. I mean, into the wall of the basement. So he kept he told me the door was to lock up his guns, but I had no idea. I knew he was a gun, fanatic, but 200 and grenades, that's shocking. It really is.
How long has he had that avalanche?
That avalanche is not new. He's had that avalanche for probably about 10, 15 years or so. It's been around for a while. And then he has that Jeep next door it was an eyesore,
right.
An old like World War II type Jeep, and he had no wheels on it, so it was up on cinder blocks. I think I seen him drive it maybe once or twice.
Wow. So what do you think overall? Have you taken a step back? You talked to the neighbors you saw every day. What do you think that you might have lived next door to a serial killer?
We're in shock. We really are. This is a wonderful neighborhood. The people around us are terrific. Everybody's really a nice person. We all get along. There's a lot of cops. I'm a retired city fireman, and there's a lot of cops and firemen in the neighborhood. So we feel very, very safe. And the kids run around. They're biking around. Everybody's happy here. So this is a shock to all of us. People would stay away from his house. I mean, they would literally cross the street because the house was such a mess. And, for some 30 years almost, he's been telling me he's going to fix the house up. He was going to build up on it. He was going to do this. And the guy's an architect. So I was always, kind of surprised that he never did anything with the house. If you look at it now, that's the best that house has ever been. So you can imagine how it used to be.
Wow. And lastly, he almost grabbed somebody at Brady Park, which is right down the road. Someone just put it out that he was approaching a young girl at Brady Park. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
I heard about that. I read that he came out of the woods or something while she was jogging or something, and that's strange. I mean, that's like over the edge now.
Absolutely. Did you ever feel? Hey, Etienne,
he was strange and odd.
He's a big guy. I was just talking to the guy that arrested him. He's a big guy. Did you ever feel physically threatened by him?
No, because when we first moved there, like I said, when he was looking over the fence, he would throw in that he's 6'4", 250 pounds in his conversations constantly. And me being 6'4" and 250, he would like to say that a lot. But when I had that altercation with him, where I basically threatened him to stop leering at my wife, he backed off. He didn't the violence thing. I didn't see coming because he didn't come off violent. I mean, he was strange to look at, enormous, but he never came off violent to me or to anybody that I could tell. So we're really surprised by that at all.
Etienne, I know you have a lot of people pulling at you. Thanks so much for the time. People want to know what's going on and seeing if their neighbor could be like this guy. So the Gilgo murders, I mean, we go to Tobay in Massapequa. So what the hell is he doing at Gilgo to begin with is kind of odd.
Yeah, that's what, a quarter mile down the road.
Yep.
From Tobay.
Etienne Devilliers, thanks for being a firefighter in New York City. Appreciate it, and thanks for your time today.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.